Welcome back, friends. So as we've grown as a YouTube channel, companies reach out to us more and more with opportunities to review their products. And like 90% of the time, their products have nothing to do with our channel, and we just have to kindly say no thank you. Well, not too long ago, a company reached out and said, hey, would you like to review this? And my first thought was, that has nothing to do with our channel. But then, as I thought about it just a hair longer, movies under the stars. So I think this actually has a lot to do with our channel. It's perfect for camping, and I'll show you what it is. It is the Vankyo GO300 mini projector. And by mini, it's mini, man. I mean, it's tiny. It's like 4 iPhones stacked on top of each other. And probably weighs about that too. So I thought movies under the stars with this thing, either putting this on the side of your RV, or I got a screen to put it on. I'll show you that here in just a second. I thought this would be really cool. We're going to go over the specs, take a look at it. Stay tuned. So let me start by going over some of the technical aspects of this little projector. It's got 2 USB ports. Well, it's got 1 USB and 1 HDMI output. It's got a spot for a micro SD card. It's got 1 audio out. I'll show you all of those in just a second. It does have its own Wi-Fi, so this will actually plug in or hook up. Not plug in, obviously. It will actually hook up to your Wi-Fi system. So if you've got Wi-Fi at the campground, it can actually go snag that Wi-Fi instead of having to go through your cell phone. All right, we'll talk about how to go through your cell phone in just a second as well. But it's got 1 gig of RAM, 16 gigs of ROM. The CPU is a quad-core ARM Cortex A7 up to 1.2 gigahertz. I have no clue what all of that means, but some of you will. Battery capacity is 7,000 milliamps hours. I think that's what that is. Digital display is DLP. The light source is LED, and it goes from a 30-inch to a 110-inch, which I think is pretty impressive. Resolution is 854 by 480, and aspect ratio is 16 by 9. And it's got an auto keystone, which means if you have it at an angle, or if your screen's at an angle, it's going to make sure to project correctly up on your screen. So whether you have it here, it'll project straight, or if your screen's up here, it's going to make sure that instead of looking angled, it's going to correct it and still be straight, which I think is pretty cool for tech idiots like me. All right, and it does have a manual focus. So I'm going to go grab it right quick. Let's take a look at all that stuff. All right, here we go. Here's the back of the unit. And you can see your power buttons right here. Here's where you charge it up. USB, HDMI. Here's where you have headphones if you wanted it. Over on this side, another USB, SD card here. And this is your focus right here. All right. You can see the front of it. Here's your vent fan right here. And all of that picture comes out of this little, I mean, literally as big as my fingernail. All of that picture comes out of that little bulb right there, which I think is crazy. I'm like I said, I'm a tech idiot. So I'm showing you guys this. Hopefully you'll have another vent here. Obviously it's got some fans going on in there. But yeah, all of this hooks up. This will hook up to your Wi-Fi. So you don't need a phone at all, actually, if you're hooked up to Wi-Fi. If you do have a phone, this has the capability of mirroring whatever, either through Bluetooth or through your USB. Like if you have an iPhone, you just plug in your flash cord to your phone and plug in the USB there, and it's going to mirror whatever is on your phone. So if you go over to, say, YouTube and pull up a video, it will automatically mirror it. This works, and it just automatically mirrors it and projects it up onto the screen. So it really is simple to use, even for tech dummies like me. I didn't have any problem learning how to set this thing up, getting it playing up on the screen. I really think this is a cool option for the campsite. Okay guys, here we are. We're outside now. I've got my little setup. I bought a movie screen I'll link it in the description box below. But the reason I like this screen is because if you come behind it, it's blacked out. So if you just put up a bed sheet, which you can absolutely do, but you're going to light up whatever's behind you. So if you're at a campground, you're going to light up another campsite very likely. There's a good chance, even though this screen comes with a frame, that I'll just use the frame that goes around the screen and just hang it up on the camper. Or if we had a spot, to just cast this up onto the camper. Don't you think, Brooke?
Yeah, I feel like if we can find enough white space, we could just cast it on the side.
Yeah. So this is now you can see the little squigglies. We don't see that. That is the distortion between the camera and the frequency of the projector. But yeah, I mean, I think the picture is really good. What do you think?
It is. It's hard to tell with this video because it's moving a lot.
Yeah, I mean, but you can tell it's got nice vibrant colors. It's nice and sharp. Even though the distortions on the video, like I said, here in real life, we don't see that. So if you take that away, you can see some good color there in the background. This is one of our videos from Mexico. But yeah, we don't see that. I can see it on the camera doing it, but in real life you don't see it. It's not the projector doing it. And this is an 86-inch screen, and this projector goes out to 110 inches in HD. It also does volume. Not volume. It also does sound. And I don't have it turned up right now, obviously, because I'm talking. But the sound is pretty good. It's certainly loud enough for a campsite. Like, you wouldn't want anything louder than that. And your neighbors certainly wouldn't want anything louder. But to give you an idea, you can't really see Brooke there, but Brooke, go stand up next to that screen if you don't care.
Sure.
And you can see. Brooke, are you 5'5"? So yeah, I mean, it's a big screen. And it's still in HD. You can get a good idea of the color here, even though, like I said, that distortion, we don't see that here. That's just going to be on the camera. That's the camera doing that. But you can get a good idea of the crispness. And is that even a word? That sounds like I said Christmas. But it's very crisp, let's just say that. And it's very colorful. The colors are good. And yeah, I can't believe that this comes out of something so small. It's really, really cool. It really gives you a great option for movies under the stars. So here's our setup. I just have this on a tripod, and I got it hooked into, this attachment here is actually for a iPhone on top of your tripod, and that's it. I mean, you can see, I know you've seen it already, but my hand's much bigger than the actual projector. But yeah, that's a nice little setup. And you can see the frame now for that screen. And there's also a frame that just goes around the edge of the screen, and then a little hanger that kind of goes up here that you would just put a hook in and just hook that up to the side of the RV. Now obviously the picture's not nearly as good when it's got a bright light shining on it. But yeah, I thought this was a really cool item to review. I'm glad they sent it to us. All of the information will be in the description box below. And I think this would be really cool. Got a campfire going, and a movie up on the screen. Could be a lot of fun. Okay, friends, that wraps it up. But just to be clear, this thing does a lot more than what I'm capable of explaining. So make sure to check down in the link below. You guys are probably much more tech savvy than I. You'll understand. I mean, you can download apps. There's all kinds of things you can do with this thing. Also comes with a remote. I didn't even mention that before. But check it out. Link below. Movies under the stars at your own campsite. I think it could be a lot of fun. See ya.